the smallest bit of criticism throws you off completely or sticks with you so you overthink it and, dwell on it, you're not alone. I'm Karen Andrews, clinical psychologist since 2009, and I've worked with so many high performers who are super successful, but also super sensitive. So they get completely overwhelmed by the slightest bit of criticism. In this video, I want to show you the real reason why this happens, why traditional advice to toughen up backfires completely, and I want to give you a completely different approach with 3 simple steps that will hopefully be really helpful to transform how you handle feedback without trying to change who you are. Let's get started. The real reason you take negative criticism so personally. The truth is, if you're highly sensitive to criticism, it could easily be because you're a highly sensitive person. There's a bunch of research by Dr. Elaine Aron that strongly indicates that up to 20% of the population fit this profile. They process information more deeply, they notice subtleties that other people miss, and they often have very high emotional intelligence, and they're highly empathic. Now, not all of high achievers are highly sensitive, and not all highly sensitive people are high achievers. But in my clinical practice, I see a lot of highly successful individuals who are also highly sensitive. And if this is similar to you, then criticism hits different. And if this is you, you've been told your whole life that your sensitivity is a weakness. And when criticism hits, then you don't just feel horrible about the criticism and hurt. You feel ashamed that you feel horrible and hurt. It's a double whammy. Let me tell you about my client Sylvia, which is not her real name, of course. And these are not her exact details. She's a young entrepreneur with a wonderful online business, highly successful, selling the most exquisite handmade jewelry from her home country. She's creative, she's brilliant, she's the mother of 2. But negative comments on her social media could easily send her spiraling, like really badly. She'd replay the criticism over and over in her head. She couldn't let it go. And sometimes she would question herself, her taste, her judgment, her instincts, everything about her business, even consider quitting. And she came to me thinking that she needs to get tougher. She said, I can't be sensitive like this if I want to succeed, although she had already succeeded. And if you're like Sylvia, your sensitivity is not actually your problem. Sylvia's sensitivity is how she notices what her customers want. It's how she can instantly recognize that perfect piece of jewelry that's almost going to move people to tears. It's why she's able to build deep and meaningful connections with her audience and with her customers and with her suppliers. Sylvia's sensitivity is actually her superpower. Could this be yours? Have you been trying to fix something that actually isn't broken and that might in fact be your greatest strength? If you are ready to stop fighting against your nature, start working with your nature and who you really are, there is a link in the description to connect with me, to work with me. And you're also welcome to join my high performance mindset community, which is hosted on the school platform. And there's a link below as well. Okay, so why growing a thicker skin backfires? Let's talk about why traditional advice about getting tougher and handling criticism just doesn't work for sensitive high achievers. When people tell you to grow a thicker skin or stop taking everything so personally, they are essentially telling you to become somebody else. It's like telling a hothouse orchid to become a wild daisy. Both flowers are beautiful. Both have strengths. But a daisy will never thrive in a hothouse, and an orchid will never thrive on the side of the road or in some kind of windswept hillside. Each of them needs the right environment in order to flourish. When you're trying to toughen up, If you're successful, you actually just end up not just dulling your sensitivity, you end up dulling everything else. Your ability to read a room, to connect deeply with people, to notice what everyone else misses. You're essentially trying to turn off the very thing that helped to make you successful in the first place. Sylvia had spent her entire life trying to toughen up. Before we met, she did things like force herself to read the comments, and she would tell herself that, I shouldn't care what everyone thinks, and I should learn to not care. But instead of getting stronger, she just got more anxious. Her creativity suffered, her ability to trust her instincts, she started second guessing herself, and she started becoming anxious about the very thing that had built her business. The problem wasn't that she was sensitive. The problem was that Sylvia was trying to be someone that she's not. So here's the counterintuitive solution. There are 3 steps, and the third is the most important. I want to tell you what actually works. Instead of trying to change your sensitivity, protect it. Your job is not to become less sensitive. Your job is to create the right environment for you and for your sensitivity to thrive while you protect yourself from unnecessary overstimulation and harm. And this means 3 things. Number 1, reframe the criticism through positive self-talk. If you do get negative feedback, don't allow yourself to think, oh, there's me oversensitive or sensitive again. Change it to something like, I am processing this deeply because that's how my brain works. And how my brain works is actually super valuable. Number 2, get curious instead of defensive. You are naturally empathic, so use that superpower to ask curious questions and find out, like, why are you saying this to me now? Why are you saying this at all? Can you give me a specific example of what you're saying that I am or do? What would you like to see from me instead? And this helps you to investigate the source and also to evaluate this as information that maybe you should take or maybe you shouldn't, because maybe it's someone's personal judgment that they are putting on you. Third, and most important, design your environment. Tweak it, change it, move things. Just like you wouldn't plant an orchid in a meadow. You wouldn't put a daisy in a hothouse. Don't expose yourself to pressures that will unnecessarily drain you. Sylvia did this beautifully. Instead of, constantly trying to toughen up, she hired a VA to manage all her social media, to go through all of her comments and filter out the trolls. She started scheduling more alone time so she could recharge. She decided to focus on very specific feedback sources, like mentors and customers that she could really trust, not random internet commenters. The result was that her business actually grew significantly. She became way more creative, not less. She became more confident instead of more tough. She became a happier mom. She learned to love and protect her sensitivity instead of fighting it. And she did that for her kids too. Let me know in the comments, have you been trying to fix your sensitivity instead of protect it? Self-acceptance isn't just feel-good psychology. It's a practical strategy that makes your life better, because when you accept your highly sensitive self, you can design your life to play to your strengths. You can set boundaries, or you can begin to set boundaries that protect your strengths instead of trying to eliminate the aspects of you that aren't convenient or that you don't like. You can't cut out the bits that you don't like. The goal is not to stop feeling the pain of criticism. The goal is to make sure that the criticism is actually valid, coming from useful and trusted sources, and allow you to extract what is actually useful from the feedback while honoring who you are. And if you can't shift out of overthinking, and if you can't shake off negative feedback no matter what you do, it could be that there's something else going on. Click the link in the description to connect with me, to work with me, or seek, the help from a medical professional, a good coach, or a counselor. I truly believe that your sensitivity is not something that you have to overcome. It's something that you need to learn to celebrate and protect. And when you do that, criticism becomes so much more manageable. And when you accept yourself, it makes all the difference in the world.